Welcome to the series where I test out the OSRS Wiki money making guides. I started this series almost a year ago, and since then we've tried out multiple methods even if they're a little silly, such as picking bananas or even flax. If you enjoy these types of videos, then feel free to check out the playlist that I've made for them, and feel free to leave a suggestion down in the comments for a method that you'd like to see tested. With that being said, let's get into the video. Now for today's moneymaker, as you've already seen by the title of the video, we will be killing Ogress Shamans in free-to-play. Now there is two ways you can do this. You can either use range and safe spot them, or if you have high enough stats, you can also use melee, which is what we are going to be using for this video. As for the gear setup, as you can see, we have the green d'hide body, chaps, and vambraces. We're taking this over a rune set simply because the ogresses attack us with magic, and this provides us with good magic defense, as opposed to the rune set, which would actually give us negative bonuses and we'd end up taking more damage. As for our weapon, we have the rune scimitar, an amulet of power, a cape, a coif, and an anti-dragon shield. The shield really isn't necessary, but it does provide a little bit of magic defense, so we'll take it. As for the inventory, we have some strength potions. I'm just bringing 5 with me. I do have more in the bank if I need more. We can go and grab those. And we also have nature runes and fire runes, and this is to cast high alchemy since they do drop some nice alchable items. Also, make sure you bring some kind of food like lobsters, it'll greatly help. So as for how to get to the area that we are going to be killing these shamans at, if we open up the world map, you can see that I'm here close to the Remington house portal. I suppose you could teleport to Falador and then run south to reach this area. I think you can also take one of these boats right here. I think the charter ship will actually take you to the same place. But we're going to go ahead and use this area right here. It says Shipped Corsair Cove. All we have to do is hit travel on Cabin Boy Colin and he will take us there. Once here, you can make your way off the boat and run northwest. Go ahead and open up the map and we can see that the entrance to the dungeon is right here. Now, once you make it to the hole, just simply enter it. And then from here, we can run to the east. We're going to be killing the shamans that are in this area over here, where the burnt shrimp is at. And the reason why we're going to do it here is because there is food that spawns on the ground. As you can see, there's raw tuna, there's some shrimps, there's bread. So if we need to eat from taking damage, we can simply eat the bread. Or if you have a high enough cooking level, you can cook the tuna and the shrimp on this fire. So, unlimited food, which is very nice. And if for any reason you need to leave to get some more food or to bank your loot, there is a bank located above, and it is really close by. Before you enter the caves, if you don't have the highest combat stats, you might want to take some food to sustain yourself in the beginning. I think we'll be okay with not taking anything ourselves because we have some pretty high stats, but I mean, if we do end up taking a lot of damage, then I can just come back here and grab some food. So, jumping right into the method, just simply being here will cause them to aggro you, so you don't really have to click on them. All you really have to watch out for is your health, and like I said earlier in the video, it is highly recommended to bring a few pieces of food with you, like a lobster, to help you survive. Now, we didn't bring any food because I thought that the food on the ground would be more than enough. But even with max stats, these shamans do hit fairly often and they hit very hard. So make sure that if you don't have Protect from Magic unlocked in your prayer book, that you definitely bring some food, because throughout this video, I definitely used Protect from Mage to help me stay alive. Also, if you saw my inventory in the beginning of this 1 hour, I did end up bringing 2 strength potions with me. This can vary depending on how long you plan on staying down here. At first, I thought we'd make at least 2 trips back to the bank, but as time went on, I made it my mission to stay down here for the full hour before banking. So bringing 2 strength potions was more than enough. And as you saw there, we got our first rune battle axe, and shortly after we got another rune battle axe, which is big money here down in the caves. I'd say those 2 drops alone definitely helped out our GP per hour, and those are the drops that you want to be looking out for. This was also the first time that I saw the new max hit splats that they added. There is a nice little animation that appears on the hit splat whenever you hit your max hit, and I believe in this setup with a strength potion, we were able to hit 22s. Younger me would have lost his mind if he knew that one day he would be hitting 22s in free-to-play with a rune sim. I think back in the day, the highest number that I could hit was probably a 16 with a rune 2-hand, so yeah, it's a pretty big difference. I'd say the spawn rate for these shamans is just right. Normally you don't have to wait too long between kills, even if you are killing them fairly fast, but if you do find yourself waiting a little bit between kills, you can use that time to juggle the food that's on the ground or cook the food on the fire that is nearby. And that brings me to a very important point. Even if you don't need the food that is on the ground, I highly recommend picking it up and dropping it. This is known as juggling the food. That way the spawn is always working to produce more food for you, so that whenever you need it, you have like 5 or 6 raw tuna on the ground that you can cook. And this should help you survive a bit longer here in the caves. And like I mentioned earlier, Protect from Magic is a very good prayer to have down here, as it negates all magic damage from these shamans. And if you lazy flick, you can pretty much stay here forever until your inventory fills up with loot. And another good thing about this moneymaker is that most of the items you get here are stackable, such as the runes and the arrows and the coins. So really you can stay here forever if you really wanted to. I would only bank once you have like a full inventory of limpworts or gems, as you see here. The big bones I wouldn't say are worth picking up for the money, but since big bones are the best way to train prayer in free to play, it's probably worth taking the time to bury them as you get the kills. And that is pretty much it for this moneymaker. Very easy, very straightforward, and a great way to train your combat skills and make a little money doing it. Let's go ahead and take a look at how much loot we were able to get in this 1 hour. So after 1 hour of slaying these Ogress Shamans, we are left with a total price check of 162,183 GP. Not bad for 1 hour of training our combat skills and a little bit of cooking as well. Let's go ahead and head over to the GE and sell everything off. Alright, so the price check wasn't entirely accurate because I did have to remove some of the fire and nature runes. I forgot that I brought some with me, but now that we've removed them, this is the total loot. So let's go ahead and sell it off and see how much money we can make. I'm just going to throw them in there for a really low price, not really going to worry about maximizing profits, but if you are doing this moneymaker, you might want to put it in there for a little bit more so that you can get some more money. Especially if you've been grinding these shamans for a long time and you have a lot of loot to get rid of. Alrighty, so this is all the loot sold off, and it gives us a grand total profit of 139,342 GP. So not the greatest amount of profit, but at least you also get some combat XP, some cooking XP if you do choose to cook the food that's around you, and of course some magic XP for casting High Alch. Also, you can stay there for as long as you want. That's the best part. As long as you have Protect from Mage, so you can lazy flick that prayer so you don't take any damage. And of course, if you are juggling and cooking the food that you find there spawning on the ground. So not a bad moneymaker, especially for free to play. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and thank you to all of my channel members, with a special thanks to ACR Beans and Chris. Once again, thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next episode.